Welcome back to Marketing for Your Future on Daily Ad Brief. I'm your host, David Binfield. We speak to digital marketing experts about what it is that they found success, and how you can obtain that success as well. And joining me today, all the way from the Twin Cities, is Andrew Eklund from Ciceron. Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for being on. So let's just get started right away with what is Ciceron? What do you guys do?
Well, we are one of the original digital agencies. I started the agency back in 1995, a year and a half after the web browser was invented. So we've pretty much seen it all
That's
in the
so
world
impressive.
of digital and the internet.
We were just talking about off screen. We were talking about when the internet was coming out and what we thought it was going to be and how much it's been so different and how some of the things are the same. It's really interesting. You've been in the game for that long. So talk to me about like the changes that you've seen over the course of time.
Well, it's interesting. To a large extent, history repeats itself. We go in these cycles a lot. I've been through, four major economic cycles, including the one that we're in now, and massive changes in technology and adoption, right? So essentially our business follows the consumer. The consumer has been a rapid adopter of technology and how they live their lives, and our assumption always is that most brands, with maybe the exception of Amazon, are typically behind where the consumer is at, because it's hard to get ships to turn around and harbor when the consumer is so fast and they're in like little, speedboats just kind of zipping around everywhere. And so, for us, it's just really looking at history and adoption rates from the consumer, and then making sure that we can be as fast as we possibly can to get in market with relevant content, experiences, advertising, all the above, so that our clients are aligned with the expectations of the consumer.
So what's a key practice that you can attribute to your success? Like, what's the one thing that your company cannot do without?
Don't chase shiny things. Shiny things get a lot of attention, but they don't always deliver. And so, for example, we can talk all day about what the next ad platform for TikTok is, or augmented reality, both of which are really cool, viable things. But if your consumers are not potentially using those yet, or they have not adopted the technologies, or you don't have something worthwhile to provide to them, it's probably something that's a little bit ahead of its time. Whereas other things that are tried and true and work and are incredibly successful, but may not be headline grabbing, you've got to stay focused, and you have to stay focused on what's actually going to deliver for your people, not necessarily what you read about in Ad Age or Ad Week, or even on your show. I mean, it all depends. You just need to know your consumers and know where they're at, so that you can provide something of value to them.
That's very helpful. No company has successes without its speed bumps. What's the biggest hiccup that you've encountered over the course of having your company?
We always ride the edge, and so we're oftentimes in danger of being ahead of our customers, even if we're on top of the consumer. And so I would say that the things that have oftentimes gotten us a little bit off of our game is we get a little too ahead of the marketplace, or ahead of where brands can make investments. And so we kind of have to dial back a little bit, and it's easy to get a little too out in front. And so we just have to have a very, very sober mentality about what's real, what's not real, even if that means sometimes we have to put our own desires on the sidelines because we think it would be really cool to do something new and whiz bang. We have to have a marketplace for it too.
Absolutely. So we like to, one of the purposes of the show is like to talk to folks like yourself who have found successes in marketing and teach younger folks, how to do the same. So if you had a piece of advice, or like something you swear by that you would want to tell young professionals, what would that be?
Well, absolutely. For young professionals, it's to own your expertise. We live in a very strange time whereby having a few years of experience in some areas of digital may mean you're an expert. It may have only been around for 3 years. And so we ask young people, especially the ones that we hire here at Ciceron, to certainly not be intimidated by some of us old timers. The reason that we hired you in the first place is that you are bringing to us talents and skills that we feel that we do not have. And so while you might be young in your career, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're young in your experience and your expertise. And so speak up, be bold, and hopefully you have a nurturing environment that allows you to be that way and that can accommodate new ideas regardless of who they come from. And I think that that's really important for young people to understand, is that we live in a very interesting moment in time whereby we don't necessarily value expertise and experience in longevity. It could just be in relevance, and it could be very surgical, and it could be very deep. So I think that's the best thing to remember is, own your expertise, know your expertise, own your expertise, and then be a rapid learner, because people around you also have new expertise that could make yours even better.
I love it. Thanks very much. Be bold, be brave. Words from the expert. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Eklund. We really appreciate you coming on our show today. If you'd like to learn more about Ciceron, you can head to dailyadbrief.com. That's going to do it for us today on Marketing for Your Future. I'm David Benfield, and until next time, we'll see you then.